isn't fine, that she's had bad dreams, and that they're hiding her there, but her husband closes the door to keep Alice out of it. Alice returns to the party and finds Jack in Frank's room fixing his tie. To her shock, Jack starts getting frisky with her right there. Things suddenly get weird again when Frank shows up and begins watching them in a very weird way, but soon he leaves without saying a word, and Alice never tells Jack about it. The next day, Alice and her friends are doing some shopping when the subject of Margaret comes up. They comment on how she's behaving weirdly since the accident, but Bunny cuts in and reminds them it wasn't an accident. Margaret broke the only rule they had and took her child deep into the desert because she saw something, probably a hallucination. When they found her, she was alone with her son's toy plane, and they never found the child, although Margaret swears they took him away from her as punishment. The conversation suddenly interrupted when the ground shakes again, but the women don't react because they're used to it. One of them wonders if the rumors of the men developing weapons are true, but an angry Bunny cuts her off, reminding her the wives' only mission is to support their husbands and not to ask questions. Later at night, Alice begins having extremely weird dreams, and she can't stop thinking about them the next day. She decides she needs some fresh air and takes the trolley, but instead of getting off at the mall, she stays so she can enjoy the view of the desert, which the driver finds pretty weird. Suddenly, a plane that looks like Margaret's toy appears in the sky, falling down until it crashes in the middle of the desert. There never was a plane flying above this area before, and Alice wants to check it out, especially since they may need help, but the bus driver refuses to take her there because it goes against the rules. Alice breaks the rules anyway and walks deep into the desert until she eventually comes across a hill with a spiral road surrounding it. She makes the extra effort to go all the way up until she finds a mysterious dome and begins calling for help, but nobody answers. Alice is scared, but she still wants answers, so she slowly approaches the dome until she finally dares to put her hands on the glass walls. This movement suddenly shakes her body and makes her throw her head back as a series of weird, disturbing images appear in her eyes, and Frank's voice continues to talk about leaving chaos behind. When Alice finally gets to blink again, she finds herself on her bed at home. Confused and scared, Alice goes to the kitchen,